Hello, team, and welcome to episode 42, My Big Fat Orange Baby. And no, I am not making fun of Mr. Liam. I think he was adorable in his swimming clothes. But we are going to be talking about the Royal Order of Adjectives. And I don't know if any of you have seen the movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Our question today is whether you can switch these words around. Could I say my big Greek fat wedding, fat big, my Greek wedding? Do we have flexibility? We will see this today and talk a little bit about one of nature's greatest presents to us, laughter and comedy. I'm not sure which animals can laugh. I know dolphins laugh and I know monkeys laugh, but I think it's a real gift that we have, whether it's for social bonding, whether it's to deal with some of the difficulties in life. Laughter is not just a present, but it is also a tool we can use in our communication. Rarely will you dislike a situation where you're smiling, where you're laughing. And it's something to be trained and practiced like everything else, especially in a second language when it might be a little bit more difficult. So team, get ready, and here we go. Our warm-up exercise are some chiropractor dad jokes. I think you can switch the D for the B, but I like this group. They do some straight face comedy where they keep their expression neutral while telling jokes. They are not the best jokes, but they are excellent for English learners. So take a look. And what page or channel has made you laugh most consistently this year? There's a guy on YouTube, Al Jokes. He's funny. A little bit inappropriate sometimes, but entertaining. And how would you describe your country or region's sense of humor? Well, team, I will let you answer that. How would you describe the Brazilian sense of humor? Personally, I'm a big fan of our parodies. I think it's very quick. You know, something happens today, tomorrow there's like a song about it. So I think that's very cool. And team, our grammar point today is the Royal Order of Adjectives. And something really cool about this is that it was created organically. They just realized that people were following a certain order with their adjectives, and it became official English rule. And it's pretty cool because most people, they can do it without thinking. But when we do it in class, actively trying to put them in order, it's much harder. So let's take a look. And I'm going to come back to this just so that I don't give any spoilers for the activity. This bottle right here, it is a metal bottle. It is a useful bottle. It is a blue bottle. It is a cylindrical bottle. It is a large bottle. It is an old bottle. It is a water bottle, and it is a Yeti bottle. But if I were to say all these things at once with bottle at the end, what order would you put them in? If you want to try this out, pause this video, test it before I explain. This is the Royal Order of Adjectives, and I divided it into 3 parts. We start with the grammar, those little articles, prepositions, this, a, some, your, many, these words that we don't really even think about. And right here, we get to our first important point, personal opinions. You should start a description that has more adjectives with your personal opinion. So whether it's delicious, amazing, fancy, ridiculous, start with that before going into the physical descriptions. And I checked a bunch of sources, I sounded them out, and you have a little bit of flexibility here in the middle, but you should start with the size and you should end with the color. And this whole order, the idea is that it starts from least important, least clear, to the most important, the most vivid image it can evoke. And anybody who has experienced some time with a child, like a young, like 6-month-old, I think it's 6 months. I might be wrong. Mr. Eduardo, you can remind me the exact month, but I think it's about 6 months when kids start seeing colors. And for them, it's like an explosion, like, it's so cool. Look at that green thing right there. And you can see their eyes get big. It's really important to them. Even as adults, people spend thousands of dollars more to buy the car, the color that they want. So remember that. Color, most important, last. It should come as close to the noun as possible. Next up, we have our details, the material, the origin of something. You know, we think about a nationality, but it could be a brand, Apple, in this case, Yeti. Or we get to our last point, which is the qualifier. And what do I mean by a qualifier? It's the specifics. If I say a truck, maybe you imagine a food truck. Maybe somebody else imagines a fire truck. Maybe somebody imagines a construction truck. Maybe somebody imagines a Dodge Ram. But as soon as I say pickup truck, it's like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. So this qualifier comes last. So team, I don't think there's a reason for you to be using this many adjectives at once, but pick a cool object around you and describe it using at least 3. Can you get the right order? And for bonus points, why do you think this order exists? Is there one in your own language? Team, back to the comedy. Found this little list. I like it. It's short. It's pretty complete, I think. But there are about these 13 types of comedy. And I have a theory that every single person, including you, is a comedian if you give them the right audience, the right situation, the people who you feel comfortable around, the place where you're like, yeah, it's my jam. I'm comfortable here. I know what to say. And same thing will probably apply in English. Wherever you are most comfortable making jokes in your own language will probably translate into English. So take a look, see if you can identify your form of comedy. Team, what do you think of pranks? Every Brazilian will remember the Silvio Santos pegadinhas, the pranks. And some of them were really serious. I don't know how they got away with them. But what are your thoughts? And what is the heaviest prank you've seen? I added a good one right here. What type of comedy do you not understand? I think I'm getting old, but sometimes I see some YouTube videos that are just ridiculous. So maybe the newer forms of comedy. Not a big fan of romantic comedy, but I know it's a billion-dollar industry, so I'm not going to complain about it. And team, your talking point, laughter. You know, who makes you laugh? Probably a good study buddy. Something you always feel guilty about laughing at. Sometimes if you see like a kid falling or cursing, it's funny. Cultural differences in regards to comedy. This one's important. Where we come from, what we find funny is very different. So it's important to know your audience. Situations where you feel you are your funniest. Is it with your soccer friends? Is it at work? Is it with your family? Is it watching movies and making fun of things? Is it maybe you are a YouTube comedian? I don't know. Where are you the funniest? And I think this is just something good to always be thinking about. What is something unexpected that made you laugh this week? What series has made you laugh the most that you can remember? I'm going to say The League. And what made it so funny was the originality. It was semi-scripted. So the actors, the comedians, that would make stuff up. I really liked it. So that's my pick, The League. Do you think laughter is contagious? Absolutely. Sometimes you see some people laughing, you already start smiling. What's going on? You just want to participate. So absolutely, I do think it's contagious. Like yawning. And team, your challenge. Your English joke. Whether you want to make one of those structured jokes, just not a knock-knock joke. Whether you want to tell a funny story, whether you observe something in your week and you want to tell it. Team, I want you guys to practice being funny. Because whether you're in a meeting, whether you're traveling, or just grabbing a beer with somebody in English, it is something you want to be able to do, is to crack some wise and make some jokes. So that is your challenge. I know it's not an easy one. If you had to perform a stand-up set to win $10 million, it's a terrifying image. I admire stand-up comedians a lot. What would you talk about? Maybe moving to Brazil, maybe something gym-related. I'm good with the gym humor. And maybe some dad-related stuff. But how about you? What would you talk about? Thank you, and let me know in class. Oh, bonus points if you like the pranks, the Punked. I don't know if you guys remember this, but where they prank the celebrities. Some of them were pretty good. So take a look. Team, see you.